Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Yeah, that one did not go to plan. The way I'd imagined that game in my head, that was not the way I'd imagined that game in my head. So this is the first and very last time you're going to hear me talking about this game. It's only going to take like 30 minutes, and then we'll never ever talk about this game again. We will travel all the way from New Jersey to LA, and we'll never talk about what happened in New Jersey. Whatever happened in New Jersey today in America is going to stay in New Jersey in America, and we're never going to talk about it again. Man United 2, Arsenal nil. I've just read the comments. And we also lost on penalties, by the way. I just saw my United fans saying Arsenal is the first team in history to lose 2 games in one night. I really hate these guys, man. Like, can the league just stuck? We are facing them in September. I wish we were facing them again tomorrow. But yeah, that did not go to plan. They beat us 2-0. And yeah, especially that second half, there was a part where it looked like we were never going to score, even if it was like another 1 hour of that game. That one definitely did not go to plan. Let me know what you made of that game. Which kind of fan are you? Are you looking at it like, listen, it is only a friendly, or are you looking at it like, no, I was not happy with some of those players, we need to discuss some of those players, or 3, you just basically don't care? Where are you? Which kind of fan are you? Are you really taking that seriously and you're like, no, I was not happy with this one and that one, I was not happy by how we played in this one and how we let this goal score? By the way, we are mistake FC, like usually I don't think there's anything that can actually score a goal against us if you don't make mistakes. Like today, 2 mistakes. If you go back to West Ham and Southampton, we always make mistakes, and that always cost us. So rather make those mistakes right now than in the start of the season. Cut off those mistakes right now, and let's not make them in this season, because that is what cost us last season. And also, Aaron Ramsdale, I absolutely love you, but please learn how to save a penalty. Please, I'm begging you. Just even if Ramsdale doesn't do anything for the next 3 weeks, just take penalties. Just take penalties against him. Let him train on penalties the whole of the 3 weeks remaining. Don't even train with the rest of the team. Just train on penalties. Just let try and save 200 penalties per day. That is all I need you to do. So that did not go to plan, obviously. 2-0 to Man United. I don't think there was a lot of negatives. Obviously, one big negative was us making mistakes, as always. Like last season, Gabriel made mistakes, Ramsdale made mistakes, Tomiyasu made a mistake, Saliba made a mistake, Zinchenko made a mistake. That happened a lot last season, and today we made 2 mistakes. The Ramsdale one, the second one from Gabriel is criminal. You can't do that, especially when you have an attacking player right behind you and no other defenders behind you. That is criminal. Also, Ramsdale should probably have done better with one of them, so not good. But the overreaction I'm seeing is sell Ramsdale. That is overreaction. There's a reason he's top of the most valuable goalkeepers right now. Goalkeepers make mistakes, and I don't think that was like a blatant mistake like the one he made against Southampton last season. But obviously, it was not good enough. And Gabriel mistake, obviously not good enough. You rather make those mistakes right now, because especially those 2 players, I feel like they're the only 2 players, maybe alongside Saka and Odegaard. I think even Saliba will be rested for a few games next season. So in terms of guaranteed starters, I think it's Ramsdale, Gabriel, Odegaard, and Saka. So it's not good to have our 2 guaranteed starters to make mistakes in one game. The rest will be rotated. Zinchenko, Ben White, Saliba could be rotated, all of them. Like Gabriel is the only one I feel like is going to start every single game. So it's not good from both of them to make mistakes. Obviously, number 2, I knew, and I don't know if you watched those penalties. I just knew, when the world is going against you, just feel like it's going to go even worse. I just knew when Fabio Vieira is going to take that penalty. I was like, oh no, please score. Like in the preview, I was just saying, I don't want to sell you, and everyone is saying in the comments, sell you, and I'm like, no, we need to give him another season. And I knew he was going to miss that penalty, and he missed it. So that is the second negative, obviously. The truth is, I still want Fabio Vieira to stay for next season, but the truth is, in that specific game, when you come on, you have to at least do something, and that is like 2-3 games in a row that he's come on and not done anything. Pretty much like he's been ghost. That's the word. Like in that game, I saw Saka, I saw Martinelli, I saw Jesus when he came on, I even saw Nketiah, I saw Gabriel, I saw Tierney, I saw Ramsdale, I saw most of the players. But when Fabio Vieira came on, we didn't see him. So he needs to find a way to, get involved in the game. Otherwise, right now, like 50% of the fan base is not like on his side. I'm still on his side. I'm like, you need to give him a second season. But the more performances like that, it's going to get to 55%, then 60%, then 70%. Then before you know it, everyone is asking for you to get sold. Speaking of players who fans want to get sold, Again, I knew it. Eddie Nketiah. Now, I still feel like he's going to stay. I've never said like I'll definitely want him to stay or anything. But Eddie Nketiah, that chance he had in the second half, you have to do better one-on-one, and you have to pass that ball. You can't shoot it. Now, the problem with Nketiah is right now in his head, he knows that, oh my goodness, the fans don't believe in me. They're saying I can't score goals. They're saying Jesus is going to score more. They're saying Balogun should stay, should leave. So the problem is when Nketiah gets a chance in front of goal and there's someone next to him to pass to, he will not pass that ball. And I knew when he got that chance there, I was like, just pass the ball. There's 3 players next to you. He's not going to pass the ball because he's desperate to score, because he knows the fans don't want him here. The fans prefer Balogun. The fans prefer Jesus. 90% of the fan base want him to go. So that is something that Arteta definitely needs to look at, because at the moment you don't want players like that or situations like that where a player is desperate. He knows like if he makes some mistakes, the fans are going to be against him. Again, though, not a good performance. You are given another chance. Balogun didn't play today. I know fans are going to complain about that. Why didn't Balogun not play even 1 minute? Why didn't Jesus start? Why didn't Nketiah start? That's another problem. So Nketiah and Fabio Vieira have a lot to do. We still have 3 preseason games. I still think they're going to be here, but they need to prove it, because next game against Barcelona, if again Nketiah gets 2 chances and he misses them, or Fabio Vieira starts again and goes ghost, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be very hard to like step up for them and say, not do this and do that. So that was another negative again today. The thing about Declan Rice and Timber and Havertz, I expected them to settle into the team very quickly, obviously, because especially Rice and Havertz are Premier League experience, so it's not new for them to play against Man United and Brighton and all these teams. Timber obviously needs time to settle a bit. He looked very good in the first game, but the truth is, for the 3 players, it will take a couple of games before all of them like get into the Arsenal speed. Like especially someone like a Havertz, like that forward line, like our players are quick. Like Martinelli gets the ball, Jesus, Saka, all of a sudden we're in the box. So Havertz needs to very quickly adapt to that pace. Rice as well today, like he didn't look like as sharp as the rest of the players, like a Saka or like an Odegaard, so he needs to get into that space as well. Timber today, I mean, there's a couple of good tackles. Rice himself made a couple of good interceptions and tackles. Havertz, at least I did see him. People was when you signed from Chelsea, people are saying, you know what, Havertz usually goes in the game, usually disappears, you never see him. At least I've been seeing him. Like for today, for example, Havertz was seen more than Fabio Vieira. So in terms of that pecking order, I think he's ahead of him. But yeah, those were the negatives, and obviously the mistakes. We need to cut out the mistakes. Usually, if we don't make a mistake, we're not going to consider goal. Like by the 70th, I think 60th minute, I checked the stats. Arsenal had 2 shots. Man United had 2 shots. They had scored 2 goals. He had not scored ours. I think it was Martinelli's shot that was saved by the goalkeeper to both of them. And for them, they got 2 chances the first half from our mistakes. They scored from both of them. They didn't get any other chances the first half or any other shots on target in the first half. Just those 2 that you gave to them. So if you cut off mistakes from our game, we are going to be okay. But obviously, we were over the moon. We were ahead of ourselves, especially me. I was very, very confident about this game. So maybe this is a good result to bring back everyone down back to earth ahead of the Barcelona game and the Monaco game and the other game against Man City. Because if you're going to compete against Man City, you cannot lose such a game. You have to, if the worst you get is a draw. And again, the worst thing about today is that we didn't get a goal. And I saw Man United fan earlier today predicting 2-0, and I was like, 2-0. They're actually right. So it means that they're also confident in themselves, and they actually won the game, and they won the penalty shootout as well. So that's not good. So Ramsdale also work on your penalty saves as well, penalty saving. So this was Arsenal's starting lineup today. Let's just go through it a bit. We started with let me remove that from screen. We started with Ramsdale in goal. I'm still happy with him being number 1. By the way, I know some people are still saying Salim or whatever. No, that's not the case at all. Tomiyasu, Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber. Now, Tomiyasu was pretty good. Now, we'll talk about every player individually, but Tomiyasu was really good. I really need him to stay fit, because that first half, the interceptions, the tackles, I think he kind of kept Antony quiet, and my United fans are expecting Antony to dominate him. So Tomiyasu, in terms of defending, is really good. He's not the best attacker, but even today, though, I saw him intercepting the ball with his head and running with it forward. So he is okay if he gets back to speed. I don't think anyone in that back line is guaranteed, especially now. Gabriel, I'm saying he's a guaranteed starter alongside Ramsdale. But even that, Kivio started playing well. So if Gabriel makes 2-3 mistakes, you never know. Kivio could be into the starting lineup. You could have Timber and Saliba as the center backs. Like if Ben White doesn't make a mistake, Timber comes in. That is the competition you want. Now, Timber did not impress today as he impressed the other day. So Ben White will start the next game. If Ben White impresses, Ben White is back in the starting lineup. So that is the kind of competition we need in our team. Keep letting me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to come to them. Gabriel and Saliba obviously in the back, and then Tim on the right side. Declan Rice in midfield with Havertz and Odegaard. I think Odegaard was pretty good for most of the game in terms of chance creation and just getting the ball. And you're probably our best midfielder today, Odegaard. Martinelli on the left side, he had like 2-3 very good chances. The goalkeeper saved them. Unfortunately, he should have scored from one of them at least, especially the rebound when he shot and then the goalkeeper saved and he got the rebound. I don't think you're supposed to put that shot on the floor. You're supposed to put that shot on the roof of the net when the goalkeeper is already down. So that was a poor finish from Martinelli in that case. Saka looked very good in the first 30 minutes, but goodness me, they were fouling him like a real game. Goodness. But yeah, he's one of our best players. And then on the bench, he had Tierney. I think Tierney came on and did good. Kivio didn't come on. Trusty didn't come on. White came on, but later on in the game, Partey came on. Partey came on and looked good, actually. Jorginho came on for 15 minutes. He made a poor pass in the second half. Trossard came on too late. I think he should have come on at halftime. Smith Rowe came on. He looked good. Actually, he got a chance. Goalkeeper saved it. Was cleared off the line. Fabio Vieira disappointing once again. He needs to quickly up his game because right, the position we are right now in terms of expectations, I don't think too many fans are going to give you too much time, so that becomes a problem. Marquinhos didn't come on today. Jesus came on. I like his fighting spirit as always. Balogun didn't come on. Now, the three players I'm worried about right now in terms of not staying at Arsenal. If Tierney didn't start today, I don't know, man. I don't know how much Arteta likes him. That is a problem. We really want him to stay, but I don't know. If they're looking for money, he could be the one who's going to go, unfortunately, because Kivio is starting ahead of him, Zinchenko is starting ahead of him, Tomiyasu is starting ahead of him. Number 2 is Balogun as well. Now, obviously, against Nuremberg, he came on, he missed 2 good chances. Did that tell Arteta, you know what, he doesn't have to stay or whatever? Or now, since Nketiah also missed a couple of chances today, will that tell Arteta, okay, Balogun starts next time? That's a hard decision. I actually know some fans who are entertaining the point of you can sell both. Sell Nketiah and sell Balogun. Let's get a very good striker. I know there's some fans who are actually on that side of sell both. Others are keep both. Others are sell Nketiah, keep Balogun, sell Nketiah, whichever it is. But the last 2-3 games, both of them have missed very good chances, so that becomes a problem. Whichever you decide. Again, from today, have you made your decision? Do you think Nketiah should be the one staying? Should he be Balogun? Should he not be overreacting? Should he be waiting for a couple of more games to see how they do? Let me know. Let me go to the comments and then I'll give more of my reaction. George says Harvard should be on the bench. Please start Partey with Rice. I think we'll try every single combination. So probably next game we'll see that. For Partey and Rice, we might see Rice and Jorginho. The next 3 games, we might see a lot of the combinations. I think he's going to try now. He's already tried Nketiah 3 times, so I don't think he starts again next time, to be honest. He's already tried Havertz from the start now. Now, Trossard last time was man of the match from that position. So against Barcelona, I'd probably bring back Trossard into that position. Odegaard played 90 minutes today. Will he start again next time? I don't know. Ben White probably comes back into the starting lineup next time. I don't know if it's going to be next to Saliba as a centre-back or next to Gabriel. Gabriel, I wouldn't expect him to start. Now, I would expect him to give Kivio an opportunity next time. Because here, if you make a mistake, we bring the next person. If he makes a mistake, you bring the next person. That's why we are building a squad. But what did Jesus do wrong today? He came on for 20 minutes and he was hustling for the ball in midfield. He didn't really get any chance. Let me ask you, who do you prefer, Nketiah or Jesus? That is the point I'm making in terms of starting. The guy's into striker plays. He scored 11 goals and he missed 4 months of the season. So you'll have to really prove to me that, because everyone misses chances. Nketiah has missed chances today. Balogun missed chances last time. Jesus missed chances. Yeah, that is fine. But if you give him a full season, 38 games, I still believe he's going to score 17 goals. You'd have to really change my mind in terms of that. And I'm not only looking at the goals. Jesus gives us a lot. Like today when he came on those 20 minutes, the midfielders could not rest because he hustles for the ball in midfield and does all that. I don't think we have too many players who do that. So Anyway, everyone has their own opinion. I respect your opinion. Let us bring in strong guys like Mbappe and another experienced winger. Mbappe is not going to come to Arsenal. He's going to go to Real Madrid. I saw a comment here about Mbappe. Someone said Arsenal is not serious. We need to bring Mbappe to save ourselves. Now that is an overreaction. Relax. If by any chance Man United finishes ahead of Arsenal this season, I'm sorry, but Arteta deserves a sack, says Amezu. Goodness me. That is why you don't lose to Man United, because of such comments. Let's go. Hillary says it's time to go for Zinedine Zidane. Respectfully, Hillary, that's a stupid comment. Tomiyasu says, bro, Jesus, Ketiev, Vieira, Ramsdale, how do they get to play football? The first one and the last one on that list, kindly remove them from that list. Arsenal is nothing without Partey. Lastly, cannot understand that TN is a natural left back. Yes, but I don't know. It depends on the system you're going to use. Now, by the next time we get next year, I don't think we'll have too many natural left backs like that. Like already Trent Alexander-Arnold is playing in midfield, Zinchenko is playing in midfield. I think that is the direction football is going. Not probably having a backup left back. I would keep Tierney for sure, but the facts are 3 players are playing ahead of him. So you'd have to believe that he's not going to stay. Even today, he did not start. Last game, he did not start. The previous game, he did not start. So the chances of him staying are wide. Or even him himself, would he want to stay? That's the other problem. Quincy says, any match against Man United is a finally lost. Yeah, we lost. Let's buy a keeper that can save a penalty. Now, that's what I still don't agree. He needs to work on his penalties, but we have one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Everyone makes a mistake. I can pull out 20 mistakes that Ederson and Alisson have made. I would rather have Trossard in number 8 position than Havertz. At the moment, that one I agree with. Our keeper Ramsdale is very playful, and the goalpost he's supposed to punch out, he punched it to the goalpost. Yeah, that was a poor mistake. Yes. Let's see. We need to buy more players, says James. I did expect these comments. When I did this live stream, I definitely expected such comments. I know Arsenal fans very well. Effort says, I don't know if I'm wrong, but Arsenal shouldn't concentrate on midfield only and defense. The front line is still immature. We need to understand why Man City brought in Haaland in Jesus' position. Please, let's do the right thing by buying a pure striker who will utilize chances ahead, because winning trophies don't only need qualities, but experience too. I don't know if they're going to change their mind, but personally, we've not been linked to a single striker this transfer window. I would be very surprised if Arsenal got like a 60, 70 million striker. We might get a backup striker, but Jesus will be our starting striker next season. Some of you might not want to hear that, but he will probably start our games next season. Let's see. Thomas has a long comment, but let's get through it. Thomas says, my thoughts, Vieira is not a player to play at Arsenal. That's a very clear comment from Thomas. If you include in the team, then Lokonga should be given a chance. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. If it's Lokonga and Vieira, I'd rather keep Vieira, to be honest. I don't understand why Nketiah is still at Arsenal. We are planning to sell Balogun. Probably Balogun can get us more money than Nketiah. I don't know. Tactics has always been Arteta's issue. He gets his tactics wrong most of the times. It is a good thing this is preseason. Please let us just stop all this unnecessary tactical experience. I tell you guys, there's nothing as hard as doing a show after Arsenal have just lost to Man United. It's very difficult. So Oyewusi says, especially at 3 a.m. at night, it's pretty difficult. Oyewusi says, good morning, Glenn. I knew this wasn't a friendly match and Man United made it obvious. I feel we need to step up and see this as a test on what we need to work on. That is what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to pick out the mistakes and work on them on preseason, not go and buy 6 more players and sell 8 players. That is not the point of losing in a friendly. You work on the mistakes that you've made. If you start saying Ramsdale should be sold, that one I 100% disagree with you, although I'll still do a poll on that and see what people are going to vote for. I really would want to know if people are going to say sell Ramsdale, because that would be crazy. Teams are trying to get goalkeepers, and we have one of the best goalkeepers. Don't forget, don't make this game for today make you forget that Ramsdale has been probably the best goalkeeper in the last 2 years in the league. The next friendly match should be played like a UEFA final, but all the same, I still believe in Arsenal, says Oyewusi. Jude says this is a friendly preseason game in which you experiment all you can. You need to discover your versatile player who can fit in odd positions. It's not about winning now. Better get it right now. Keep up the good work. Now, the reason I don't like playing in this kind of friendly matches like against Man United is because of this, and also the fouling and all that. Like all those combined, I know people would definitely exaggerate whatever they've learned from that game. So I would prefer facing like an FC Port than a Man United in such kind of a game. Let's see. The worst mistake will be Arsenal will be making this. Will definitely be letting Partey leave. I don't think he's going to leave. I've been saying there's a big chance he could leave, but at the moment they could just look at it and be like, you know what, just let him stay. Let's look for other positions. Probably a striker like some of you want. I don't know. Maybe another fullback. We've been linked to a lot of fullbacks. I still need another midfielder at Arsenal. Harrison says Fabio Vieira is not mentally ready to be playing for Arsenal. Dude seriously need to be loaned out. That could be an option. That could be an option for him to be loaned out, but it could still happen. I mean, I wouldn't say like totally no, like you wouldn't get loaned out. That could happen, especially if we are linked to players like Kudus and any other players who play in that position. There has to be like one or two players who are going to leave, and it could be Balogun and someone else there. So I don't know. Morito says Fabio should go. Things are not looking good for Vieira. I even saw someone saying I don't even call him Vieira, I just call him Martinelli's friend, because Vieira is a name that should be respected. Now, when fans start saying stuff like that against you, it's not looking good. Hopefully, it turns things like Xhaka. Even Xhaka was like this one time at Arsenal, so hopefully, it can change things like this. Any Arsenal should get a better manager comments I'm just going to ignore. I still feel like that is a stupid comment. Arsenal miss a lot of chances in the game, says Harrison. It was really like 3 chances. Man United got like 3 and they scored 2. Let's see. It's a humble plea. Lenny says it's a humble plea. My long comment, please make sure you read it loud, says Lenny. I will get to it. We need to stop these mistakes in preseason. Yeah, you rather make them in preseason than the actual season. Like last season, we made a lot of mistakes that led to goals, like Tomiyasu against Man City, Zinchenko against Aston Villa, Gabriel against West Ham, Randall against Southampton, even Saliba against Brighton. Like we made way too many mistakes. Partey against West Ham. Literally, the only player who didn't make a mistake in that backline last season was Ben White. Everyone else literally gave away a goal. He was the only one who didn't make a mistake. So we need to cut that out of our game. Now, through a season, through the 38 games, probably every single player is going to make a mistake or something, or lead to a goal or something. But hopefully we don't have as many as we did last season. There's a lot of Fabio Vieira out comments, and I knew he was going to miss that penalty. Just know the confidence is totally gone. Steve says Jota did well the last time in Kivia, but they're a whole new midfield except Odegaard. This is preseason, Steve. You have to change things. You have to try every single player. You can't just have every single player playing every single game. Now, next time, I don't expect Nketiah to start. I think Balogun or Jesus would start in that one. Trossard will probably start. Havertz might not start. Defensively, White will come back in. Kivia will come back in. We'll make changes next time again. And then against Monaco, we'll make other changes. People don't play every single game in preseason. This is why you need to test out every single player and work on every single mistake that happens, but not you lose to Man United and then you go sell 7 players. That is not the point of this preseason. Ahmed says Kivia should start ahead of Gabriel. Next game, yes. In the season, he still needs to prove more to start ahead of Gabriel. Let's learn from our mistakes, says General. Peter says, where is Tana? He was on the pitch. He was in the stadium today. He was playing for USA the last 1 month in the Gold Cup, their own version of the Euros and African Cup, their own version. They were playing that recently. So he's just come back to the team. So yeah, we need him back as well. We can't have Ramsdale playing every single preseason game. And Karl Hein came on. Even Karl Hein made a mistake in the first game against Nuremberg. I'd even forgotten about that. So mistakes are too many. Let's see. Why leaving Balogun on the bench? That's a hard one. I don't think anyone has an answer to that. I would like to hear what he says on that in the conference. I'm sure he's going to be asked about that. Okay, Lenny, we've gotten to your comments. Lenny says there's one thing Mikel Arteta needs to learn. What cost Chelsea last season was 2 things. First of all, the poor preseason form, which saw them go into the new season totally demoralized. Secondly, poor team selection and playing players out of position. That's exactly what Arteta is trying to do. When you say playing players out of position, which players played out of position? Tomiyasu can definitely play as a left back. Let me just read the rest of your comment first. Arteta is trying to drink the poison which cost Chelsea last season. Why would he force Tomiyasu? That Tomiyasu did not do any mistake at left back. He played really well. So if there's any player who played well today, it was Tomiyasu and Tierney at that left back position. So I don't think he was the cause of our loss today. He has Jakub Kiwior and Tierney on the bench. Right as he play Timber on the right side. Now, the only time you can do this kind of experiments is in preseason. You have to test it out. If it doesn't work with Tomiyasu at left back today, then you don't use it in the start of the season. You have to test it out. What happens if Zinchenko and Tierney are injured? You can't just throw Tomiyasu there. You have to test it out to make sure that he can actually play that position. In case of injuries, you don't throw in there for the first time ever. And in his mind, he has to think like, okay, Kiwior, now we've learned that Kiwior can also play as a left back, which is good. We've learned that in preseason. You have to learn more about Tomiyasu. You have to learn more about Havertz as well. There's a last game he played a bit next to Odegaard, or on that Odegaard role. Odegaard did not play that game. Obviously, Nketiah's played on the left side. He's played as a striker. He's trying everything. That is why you need to try everything in preseason. When we're in the Europa League, we could also try things because we were playing small teams in the Europa League in the group stage. But now we're in the Champions League. So this is the only time you have to experiment things. So I don't really have a problem with him. Even if he wants to play Saka as a goalkeeper right now, do it. As long as by the time you get to the start of the season, everything is ready. That is what matters. Mark says nothing to focus, nothing to smile about. Now we need to focus on our next matches. Otherwise, not impressed with the game formation. I think we should stick to a 4-3-3 formation. Probably next game we'll see that Partey Rice combination. Let's see what happens. Ahmed says the Xhaka role has been exposed. That one I agree with. Defensively, I was surprised that he started with both Havertz and Odegaard against Man United. I thought that would be a formation we'd use against smaller teams, like when you're at home and you need to attack. But I was surprised he used it today. Dennis says a freaking disgrace. Absolutely astonishing. We need Mbappe. I don't think we need Mbappe. I would agree if you said we need a striker, but I don't think we need Mbappe. As a backup for Martinelli, maybe. We can't even win on penalties. Yeah, that was terrible. I was already planning to say we won on penalties, and then they also beat us in that as well. That's like 2 or 3 penalty shootouts in a row we've lost, and it's only been 1 miss anyway. Odegaard's penalties have been good. Martinelli missed last time. There's a time it was today. Jorginho, though, it's very good. Like, I think Jorginho now is going to be on our penalties. He never looks like he's going to miss. So I don't know. Let's see whether Saka is going to take the next penalty or Jorginho. But Jorginho on penalties, that's something that we've learned very quickly. He is very good. We already know that from Chelsea. He rarely misses, and he looked very comfortable taking the penalty again today. Maybe he will be on penalties next season. Who knows? If he's on the pitch, that is the problem. He's not a starting player. Arsenal played very poor today, says Harrison. Now, in the first 20-30 minutes, I think we looked good. Saka and Timber were playing really well on that right side. They were creating numerous chances on that right side. Those chances for Martinelli came from Timber playing really well and passing the ball to Saka in between 2 players. And Saka was creating chances here and there. I think Odegaard looked good as well. I think Tomiyasu looked good on the left side. But obviously, Ramsdale and Gabriel made mistakes. Havertz didn't really miss a chance. Forget about that head. It was a bit high. I think he was okay, but obviously you need more. So in terms of players impressing, obviously against MLS All-Stars, it was like 12, 13 very good performances. But today maybe 3 or something. Tomiyasu being one of them and Tierney from the bench. Obviously we need a lot of... and disappointments were a lot. Like obviously Fabio Vieira disappointed. Nketiah disappointed as well. Yeah, it's not looking good for some players, but let's see what happens with them. Let's see. Fabio Vieira is not looking good for you. There's a lot of comments here saying you need to leave. Craig says Thomas Partey, why not staying? I mean, the last few videos we've done on Partey, he is going to stay according to reports. And Arteta was asked yesterday, Thomas Partey said, my plan is to play him alongside Rice. They can play together. So let's see. He's definitely very good. Even when he came on today, you could see his qualities. So he's another player who played well from the bench. Same with Tierney. Let's see. Tierney was supposed to start. He is a true left back, and Tomiyasu is not, says Nelson. Yeah, that is true. I would have loved Tierney to start, but I don't think Tomiyasu did poorly in that side. On that side, I think he played well in that first half. On penalties, yes. In terms of everything else, no. If we play 38 games out of 38, you have Tan and Ramsdale. Ramsdale is going to do way much better. Don't make that mistake. Make you forget that Ramsdale is one of the best goalkeepers in the league. There's a reason he's the most valuable goalkeeper in the world, according to lists that have just come out. There's a reason. Let's see. There's no problem with people having opinions about Arsenal should get a striker. That is fine. I have no problem with people saying Tierney should play at left back and start. No problem at all. I have no problem with people saying Trossard should play instead of Havertz. No problem with people saying Balogun should play instead of Nketiah. Absolutely no problem. People saying Partey should start. But it's just pre-season. You have to try everything else. But I definitely have a problem with people saying sell Ramsdale after today. That is crazy. Unknown gamer says Rice and Timber were poor. No, in the first 30 minutes, I don't think Timber was poor. Going forward, I think he was okay. And even Rice, I think he made a couple of good interceptions. I think there was a time, was it Antonio Sanchez was about to score something, and he made a very good block in our own box. And the only good, if you're looking forward, it will be a bit quiet. The only good players today were Havertz and Smith Rowe. People would actually disagree with you in terms of Havertz. I think Tomiyasu did well in that first half, no problem at all. I think Tierney did well when he came on. I think Partey did well when he came on. I think Smith Rowe did okay when he came on. Some of the rest did not really have a lot of time to do anything, the likes of Jorginho and Trossard, so there's that as well. I'm gonna put it out there. Arsenal 3, Barcelona 1, Saka 2 goals, Rice 1 goal, and Paredes scores 1. So obviously you're not going to lose every single game. As George says here, Barcelona 12, Arsenal 0. You're not going to lose every single game. That was our first loss, by the way, of the preseason. That's the one thing I don't like about Arsenal fans. When I start seeing comments about Arteta out, and then they do out, I'm like, what about the last 4 weeks? I thought you were happy the last 4 weeks. You cannot change your mind that quickly within one day. That cannot happen. Roger says, how can Arteta choose Vieira over Partey or Tierney for a penalty? The thing with Vieira is an attacking midfielder. So if your attacking midfielder does not want to take a penalty, there's a problem. So that is how it's supposed to be. When people step up for penalties, old school, it's supposed to be the strikers and the attacking midfielders and the wingers taking your penalties. If Partey stepped up to take a penalty ahead of Fabio Vieira, people would ask, Fabio Vieira is not even confident enough to take a penalty. So there's that as well. And to be honest, I would not be confident if Partey stepped up for a penalty because he loves shooting with power. So there's that as well. But yeah, it was a terrible penalty miss. I'm not saying it was a good penalty miss or anything, but your attacking midfielder should be taking a penalty. So if he doesn't step up for a penalty, you should be asking yourself questions about his confidence and where he is mentally. But definitely now I'm hoping that does not affect him even more, because if he's going to be an Arsenal player next season, we need everyone to be at the top of their games. Pierce says Arteta should play both Rice and Partey and bench Havertz. That will probably happen next game. But then again, this is the first time that Havertz started, by the way. It's not like he's been starting 4 games in a row. The midfield, the coach used won't work at all, says Emmanuel. Now, it won't work against teams like Man United and Man City, I believe so. But against the teams where you're going to have 80% of the possession, it's probably going to work. But against teams like Man United, who are going to counter-attack you and have players who are going to just run and run, the likes of Sancho, then in that game it wouldn't work. I was surprised that he started both of them, but I guess he was just testing it out. That is the purpose of preseason. You have to test things out. If it doesn't work, now he knows it doesn't work. Against Man United at the beginning of the season, you're going to play Tottenham and Man United in the first 2 months. So maybe don't use that against them. But against Nottingham Forest at home, you can use that formation with those players, or you can have Trossard the next to Odegaard. That would work. If you have 90% of possession, it's going to work. Gabriel says Hillary says Gabriel out, Jakub. Next game, no problem. But in terms of the season, you're getting too ahead of yourself. Remember, Gabriel is still one of our best defenders. He made a mistake yesterday, but you don't very quickly say remove Gabriel for the starting lineup. That is crazy. I understand there are new faces in the midfield because all Manchester goals came from the open midfield. I mean, the second one really came from a mistake. Gabriel should really have cleared that easily. At least second half was good ball, though we haven't scored. I actually felt like the first 30 minutes of that game were better than the second half. Second half, it was looking like we were never going to score like the last 25 minutes of that game. But according to the United team, they played very well to frustrate us like that, and they deserve to win the game. Yeah, they're good defensively as well. Musaizi says, please, sell Nketiah rather than Balogun. The other thing with that, though, if you're to ask Arsenal fans, yes, 90% would say keep Balogun and sell Nketiah. But the thing is, does Balogun want to stay? That's the only thing I'm usually worried about. If a player doesn't want to stay, I don't want to keep a player who doesn't want to stay. And for me, Balogun does not start ahead of Jesus anyway. So if you definitely want to start, that becomes a problem. It's preseason, yes, but not against Manchester. This is totally different kind of preseason. That's why my United came in with a serious approach. Peter says, Glenn, when you lose to Man United, I don't feel good. I don't feel good either. I'm probably going to stay offline, even if it's a preseason. We should not blame Kai. Yeah, I don't even think Kai did anything wrong, really. It's just because he's the easy target. You can blame Ket, you can blame Fabio Villa and everything. But then I wouldn't really blame Kai. I don't think he did anything wrong. He was winning fouls. He was getting on the ball. He was winning second balls. I don't think he really did anything wrong because it's just adapting to the style of play. Let's learn Vieira and sell Nketiah. Now that is why now, for example, when Nketiah got a chance today, he did not want to pass because he's desperate to score, because he knows like Arsenal fans are not on his side, and that becomes a worry. Now, even if he gets a chance where Martinelli is next to him, is not going to pass because he's desperate to score, and that becomes a problem for our team. Arsenal have one of the worst fan bases in the world, says Akindele. Sometimes I have to agree with that, to be honest. I have no problem with opinions about Fabio Villa, about Nketiah, about Tierney, Tomiyasu, all that is fine with opinions. But when a game like this ends and then you start saying stuff like Atita out, not good enough, brings it down, or sell Ramsdale, I'm like, really now? Preseason is for you to test so many tactics and formations. Yep. So preseason, I usually don't care who is starting and who is coming on. That is the purpose of preseason. Starting 11 in the actual season, then you can judge. But right now, I don't think you can really say, why didn't Trossard start again today? Maybe the plan was to start Trossard last game, start Havertz today, start Fabio Villa next time, give everyone a chance to prove themselves, so that by the beginning of the season, no player can say we didn't get a chance. You can tell every player, listen, Nketiah gave you 2 games. Vieira gave you 2 games. He didn't impress. Tomiyasu gave you a game at left back. Timber gave you a start. You came off the bench. At least you can tell every single player got a chance, and no player can say he didn't get a chance. But as of now, Balogun can say he's not gotten a chance to start. Yes. Let's see if he's going to start next time. Sincerely, everyone was poor in that, except with the exception of Tierney, who came on in the second half. Tierney was pretty good. Even if it was just 20 minutes, I think Smith Rowe also looked sharp for a guy who was injured for a long time. Emmanuel says, I feel like I should give Emil more game time. I think he will. The one thing with players like Tomiyasu and Smith, the scary thing is injury, and players like Partey, you don't want to play them 3-4 preseason games in a row. They could easily get injured again. But next time, I definitely want to see Smith Rowe. I want to see Trossard starting again. I want to see how Trossard will do again in the number 8 position. If he comes on and like does amazing again, then we have to ask ourselves questions. Hillary says we need Osimhen. I'd love Osimhen, but it's going to cost you 160 million. Arsenal, should Arsenal continue Jesus up front? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Why not? Remember last season we were close to winning the Premier League title with those guys. We did not lose the Premier League title because Jesus did not score or anything. We lost the title because we were conceding goals. Let's see. In terms of what you also need to worry about is our playing style. Jesus fits into our playing style totally. Osimhen would probably score 40 goals, but does he fit into the playing style of Arteta, wanting the players to combine with the midfielders and the wingers, and sometimes switch with the wingers and go to the right side and go to the left side and be unpredictable? Becomes a problem as well. It depends on what he wants. Bukola says that Tita needs to go and learn more. Go to Los Angeles and learn more, yes, but go home and learn more. Stupid comments. Atsa should play both Rice and Patton bench. I read that one. What motivation is he killing if he's winning the match? He's the best coach, but if he loses, we all call for his head, says Presh. Tough one. Losing to Man United obviously is not good. Actually, let me do the player ratings very quickly. From the starting players, most of the players played 90, well, not 90 or 60, 70 minutes. So Aaron Ramsdale, obviously he made the mistake, and today I'm only going to give him a 5, not the best. 5 for Ramsdale, but don't sell him. Selling him is of an overreaction. He's still going to be my goalkeeper. Ramsdale gets a 5 out of 10 for today. Not the best, but mistakes happen. But as long as you don't make those mistakes when the season starts. Bruno I still need to rewatch that Bruno shot, but yes, he should have done better, especially since he got his hands on it. That becomes a problem as well. Obviously, Gabriel made a mistake as well. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 as well. Attacking in the attacking box, whenever we have corners and free kicks, Gabriel is very good in terms of attacking them. That's another reason why I like him. Every time like we have a corner or free kick, he usually gets the header. So he's very capable of scoring like 5 goals in a season. So I do like that fact about him. Today, when he simple clearance, he made a mistake with it, and we can't really say there was sun or anything that he didn't see the ball, anything like that. So not good today from Gabriel. William Saliba didn't really have a lot to do today. That's the thing with someone like a Saliba. Did not really have a lot to do today, but I guess I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for today. We considered 2 goals, and I think he played like 80 minutes or something, so I'm going to give Saliba a 6 out of 10. Who played at left back? Tomiyasu, I think he was okay. I'm seeing some of you saying Tomiyasu was not okay. Tomiyasu is going to get a 7. He's looked very good, actually, in terms of interceptions and tackles, and actually going forward on that left side. I was surprised that he was actually looking good going forward on that left side. So I don't think Tomiyasu was our problem today at all. He did okay, and it's good to test him out. And I have no problem with him playing right or left, to be honest. As last time I saw him playing on the left side against Salah, I marked him out of the game. So in games like that where you need to defend both wings, then you might start Tomiyasu on that left side. But it's not a position you're going to see him playing every single day. It's maybe only just today, actually. So Tomiyasu gets a 7 for today. Who played at right back? Timber. First 30 minutes or something, he was okay. I think he got forward well. He created a couple of chances with Saka on that right side. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for today. So that is the difference. 6 for Timber, 7 for Tomiyasu, 6 for Saliba, 5 for Gabriel, 5 for Ramsdale. Midfield-wise, Declan Rice made a couple of good interceptions. The thing is, for players like Saliba and Rice and all those players, you really need the other team to be attacking you a lot for you to really judge them in that game. And Man United got like 3 chances in that first half, and there was nothing else. I think they had like 2-3 shots on targets the whole game. So there's that as well. It's very difficult to judge. But I'm going to give Rice a 6, just above average. Nothing too special, and didn't really make any mistakes. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Same applies to Havertz. If you give Havertz like a 4-3, I just know you're hating it and he didn't really do anything wrong. He was earning us free kicks and all that, but it's just a 6 out of 10 for today. Next to him was Odegaard. Odegaard was okay. Odegaard was totally okay. There's a free kick where I was hoping he was going to shoot and not pass the ball. I don't know why he was crossing the ball. But for today, I am going to give Martin Odegaard a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think he was quite okay. No problem at all. He's usually very good in terms of creating chances in that position. And I love his combination with Saka on that right side. They click very nicely, him and Saka. So 7 out of 10 for Odegaard. Forward players, Bukayo. I think he was okay. Like if you're ever going to score a goal in that game, it is going to come from Saka for sure. He gave he gave Shaw a tough time in that first half. Was a bit quiet in the last 10 minutes, but he did create a couple of chances Martinelli should have scored from. So I'm going to give Saka 7 out of 10. Who else played? Martinelli had a shot from outside the box, missed a couple of chances, but again, just like Saka, if you were ever going to score in that game, it was going to be Martinelli scoring for us. He missed a couple of chances, but he always looks lively. Now, players like Saka and Martinelli, I don't think you can watch a game and say, "Oh my goodness, I did not see Martinelli today or see Saka today." No, they will miss chances, yes, but you will see them throughout the game. Like they are always trying 100%. So I'm going to give Martinelli a 6 out of 10. Next is Nketiah. Nketiah played up front. It was not good, let's be honest. Not good. Energy-wise, sometimes, yes, he comes to the midfield and collects the ball, but where we need you to do stuff, you need to do stuff, man. So I'm going to give Nketiah 4 out of 10 for today. Disappointing. Players who came on. Will I remember all of them? Good luck remembering all of them. Ramsdale played 90 minutes. Kieran Tierney came on. Let's start with him. Definitely our best player today, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He looked good. Hopefully that can help him start for us next time, rather than him getting himself into the market and us getting 45 million for him. But I'm still worried about him not starting games. But the thing is, in this Arsenal team right now, if you're on the bench, you need to come on and make a point. And he came on today and made a point. So hopefully that can earn him a starting position next time. That is why I'm sometimes disappointed with players like Vieira and Balogun last game and Nketiah today. When you get that chance, you have to prove yourself, because if you don't prove yourself, you're going to be back on the bench next game, because there's so many players. Like Zinchenko is not yet back. He's going to be back in this team. Partey is back. He wants to start. Smith Rowe wants to start. We're still linked to one or two more players. Nelson will be back in this team. So people have to take their chances. Chances will not always come. So Tierney gets an 8 out of 10. Who else came on? Ben White. Ben White came on on the right side. The one thing I love about Ben White is his combination with Saka. The moment he came on right away, I think Timber did well with Saka in the first half, yes, but Ben White is that connection that has happened the last 1 year, 13, 14 months, so it's there. So Ben White, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for today. Did we make any other changes in defense? I think Ben White came back as a centre-back. Gabriel played 90 minutes. Who else came on? Jorginho came on in midfield. There's a pass. He had a chance to make a through pass, but he overhit it. But I think he was okay in midfield as well. He's only going to be an impact player for us. Yes, there's some games he's going to start, and I still feel he's going to give us a lot. And his penalty was good at the end of the game. He never looks like he's going to miss. So for him today, I am going to give him a 6 out of 10. So Jorginho gets a 6 out of 10 for today. No problem with him. We need to see more, obviously. Let's see if he's going to start. I need him to start a game and see how he does. 6 out of 10 for Jorginho. Who else came on? Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe only played for 20 minutes, so that 20 minutes, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I think he looked good. Fabio Vieira. I literally did not see him. In those 20 minutes, I saw Smith Rowe, I saw Trossard, I saw Jorginho, I didn't see Vieira, and obviously he was the only one to miss a penalty today as well. So again, I've given Nketiah a 4, and Fabio Vieira, I'm going to give you a 3. Now, last time I was very good on him against, was it Nuremberg? I felt like he was winning the second balls, the 50-50 tussles with the midfielders. He was getting into them. He was not scared. That is what you need from your attacking midfielder, a player who can actually get involved in the play. But again, it's like his confidence is short. Is that his confidence is short, or some of you are right that the technique or the ability is not there? Maybe some of you are right in terms of saying that is Portuguese football, this is English football, it's different. Maybe all that is correct, but obviously he doesn't have too much time. Now, I'm still not going to say sell him right now, but if he puts on those kind of performances throughout the season, then when you get to January, I'll be like, maybe he actually needs to be loaned out or something. But I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10 for today. Not promising at all, to be honest. Trossard, I'm also going to give him a 6, just like Smith Rowe. Who else came on? Partey Jesus. Partey came on. I think he did quite well. I'm going to give him a 6 out of... Actually, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think Partey was good today. And Jesus, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. So those are the player ratings. Best players today, Tierney. Partey a bit when he came on, and Saka in the first half as well. Martinelli got involved, at least missed a couple of chances. Ramsdale and Gabriel need to cut off the mistakes, obviously, because now we have options. Tierney can come on, Kiwior can come on, Zinchenko is going to come back to this team. But obviously, never nice to lose to Manchester United. But today is the last time you're going to hear me mentioning this game. We'll definitely act like it never ever happened at all. How many players came on as substitutes, says Simon? Tierney, Partey, White, Jesus, Smith-Rowe, Vieira, Trossard, Jorginho, 8. So Ramsdale, Gabriel, and Odegaard played 90 minutes. So 8 players came on. I think Tierney should always start instead of playing non-left back and bench those who are able to play in that position. Says Pierce, the same individual errors cost us the total lesson, especially those defensive errors from our goalkeeper and the defenders. That is true, Paulo. Our preseason last season gave us motivation to the season because we easily trash teams, and that form motivated us. We need to take preseason very seriously. It impacts how we enter into the new season, says Lenny. So that is it for this one. Next game is going to be the next game is going to be very early. Now you think this one's late. Like that one is going to be like on Wednesday night, heading into Thursday morning. I think it will be like 3:30. Is it 3:30 UK time at night? So by the time people are waking up to go to work, that is the game is going to be going on. So it's going to be very late at night, but it's going to be. I'm not even sure if that game is going to go on because Barcelona was supposed to play today, but they didn't play because there's a sickness going on through their team. So maybe by next week they will be okay, but I don't know. It's not 100% certain that game is going to go ahead because the Barcelona players are sick at the moment. There's something going around their dressing room, but let's see. But our next game is supposed to be Barcelona on Wednesday, and then back to England to play against Monaco, the Emirates Cup, and then against Man City, and then the real business starts. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.